Welcome to your deep dive. Today we're going to be diving into blue ocean shift. The idea of moving away from all that intense competition to create these like fresh new market spaces where there's room for everybody.
Yeah, it's really about escaping that cutthroat environment.
Exactly.
Okay.
And luckily for us, we have the book Blue Ocean Shift, Beyond Competing, which has tons of great insights and real-world examples.
Yeah, and it's not just theory. It's really giving you like practical tools you can actually use
I love that.
to chart your own course.
So to kick things off, can you maybe paint a picture for our listeners? Like, what exactly does a blue ocean actually look like?
So imagine a red ocean, right?
Okay.
Where everybody's fighting over the same customers
Yeah.
and there's like limited demand. It's just a constant battle for every inch of market share.
Right, a real Shark Tank.
A blue ocean, on the other hand, it's wide open, full of potential,
Okay.
with space for everyone to thrive.
I think that.
And it's not about destroying the competition.
Right.
It's about creating something entirely new.
So less Shark Tank and more like, sailing into uncharted waters.
Exactly. A great example is the National Youth Orchestra of Iraq, or NYOI.
Okay, tell me more about this.
They were in a really crowded market, tons of established orchestras.
Yeah.
But instead of just competing on, technical skill alone,
Right.
they asked, what if we could redefine what an orchestra can be?
So what did they actually change?
Well, they brought together young musicians from like all these different backgrounds, Sunni, Shia, Arab, Kurdish,
Wow.
to play this amazing mix of classical A&D original Iraqi music.
Oh, wow.
Their focus wasn't just musical excellence, but also healing and showcasing Iraqi heritage.
So it sounds like they tapped into this really powerful emotional need for unity and cultural pride.
They absolutely did. And their concerts became a real symbol of hope and resilience.
Wow.
And it actually attracted a whole new audience who
Yeah.
really resonated with their message.
That's awesome.
That's a blue ocean in action, creating value that goes beyond just the traditional offering.
So how do we, in our everyday lives, find these blue oceans?
Right. Do we need a big map and a telescope?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the book's idea of challenging industry assumptions comes in.
Okay.
And there's this great example from Group Ebb, the company behind like all those fancy kitchen appliances.
Right.
They looked at the French fry market.
Okay, French fries.
A classic red ocean with super intense price competition.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone loves fries.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that would lead to some pretty thin profit margins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But instead of just trying to make a cheaper fryer,
Right.
they asked, what if we could make healthy fries without sacrificing taste or convenience?
Okay.
And this led to the ActiFry,
The ActiFry, I love that thing.
which uses just a tablespoon of oil.
It's like magic.
It was a massive success because it addressed a need that no one else was meeting.
Yeah.
They redefined the problem.
Right.
Instead of just trying to win the existing game.
So they found this blue ocean within a seemingly saturated market just by challenging their assumptions.
Exactly.
Which makes me wonder, what assumptions am I making in my own field
Right.
that might be keeping me stuck?
That's the first step. And the book talks about 3 main ways to actually create blue oceans.
Okay, let's hear about this.
One is offering a breakthrough solution to an existing problem,
Okay,
like the ActiFry did.
like the ActiFry.
The second is redefining the problem itself and then solving it.
Okay.
Think about like a company figuring out how to recycle some material that no one else could,
Wow.
turning a problem into an opportunity.
I like that.
The third way is identifying and solving a brand new problem or opportunity, like ringtones.
Oh, yeah.
No one thought they needed them until they existed.
That's so true.
Or online courses that teach you these skills that didn't even exist a few years ago.
Wow, yeah.
These often create entirely new markets
Right.
without like destroying existing ones.
Yeah.
That's non-disruptive creation.
So it's not always about completely disrupting an industry. Sometimes it can be about creating something totally new
Yeah.
that works with what's already out there.
Exactly. Now, a lot of people think blue oceans are all about super groundbreaking technology.
Right.
But remember Google Glass?
Oh, yeah.
Technologically amazing, but did anyone really need it?
Not really, no.
It's the same with Motorola's Iridium phone, cutting edge, but too expensive and clunky.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's not enough to just have cool tech.
Right.
It needs to solve a real problem
Yeah.
and be accessible.
Right.
What matters is value innovation,
Well,
focusing on the value for the buyer.
right. So, like, would you say then that Apple even though they often use existing technology, are kind of masters of value innovation
Absolutely.
because they focus so much on the user experience.
They took, like, the personal computer, right?
Yeah.
Made it something beautiful,
Right.
intuitive, and desirable,
Yeah.
creating a huge leap in buyer value.
I see.
And that's where fieldwork becomes so crucial. The book has this great story about this team trying to understand, like, the healthcare industry.
Okay, healthcare.
They literally went through the whole patient experience, seeing a doctor, getting a prescription, filling it,
Wow, they really immersed themselves.
to feel the pain points firsthand.
That's dedication.
And it paid off. They discovered all these inefficiencies and frustrations
Yeah.
that people had just, like, accepted as normal.
Wow.
That's how real innovation happens.
right.
Experiencing the problem yourself, not just theorizing about it.
So I need to become my own customer
Yeah.
to really find those opportunities.
Exactly. Get out of the boardroom and into the real world.
I like that.
Speaking of which, have you ever thought about the concept of non-customers?
Non-customers, okay.
These are the people out there who aren't using your product or service.
Okay.
Not because they don't need it,
Right.
but because the current offerings just aren't appealing to them.
So we're not just talking about fighting over existing customers, but about tapping into this whole other market.
Absolutely. And the book breaks them down into 3 tiers.
Okay, 3 tiers.
So first you have first-tier non-customers.
Okay.
And these are the people who, like, minimally use existing offerings. They're using just the bare minimum, but they're not thrilled about it.
Right, I see.
Then there are the second-tier non-customers.
Okay.
And these are the people who flat out refuse to use existing offerings.
Right, they've opted out for a reason.
Exactly. And understanding those reasons could lead to some real breakthroughs.
I bet.
Then finally, you have your third-tier non-customer.
Third tier?
And these are people who've never even considered your industry's offerings.
Wow, okay.
They might not even know they have a need that you could fulfill.
I see.
The book uses the orchestra industry to illustrate this.
Oh, okay.
So imagine someone who goes to a concert once a year, like, out of obligation.
Okay, I can picture that.
That's a first-tier non-customer.
Right,
They're technically a customer, but not really engaged.
right.
Then you have someone who could afford to go, but chooses not to. Okay.
Because they find it, boring or pretentious.
Right.
That's second tier.
Second tier, okay.
And so someone who's never even thought about going to the orchestra would be third tier.
Right, because they maybe think it's only for the elite or something.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this could really spark some innovation, understanding those different non-customer groups.
Yeah.
But how do you go from, like, identifying them to creating something that actually appeals to them?
Right. That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah, that's the real challenge.
Luckily, we have some answers.
Okay, good.
The book has this framework called the 6 Paths Framework
Okay.
to help you challenge your industry's logic and business model.
All right.
It's pretty in-depth, but 2 of the most interesting paths are looking across functional or emotional appeal and looking across time to identify trends.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Walk me through those.
Okay, so path 5,
Yep.
looking across functional or emotional appeal.
Basically asks, is our industry focused on functionality or on appealing to emotions?
Okay,
So think about a car, right?
yeah,
Some brands focus on practicality, others focus on, like, luxury or adventure.
I see. So by seeing how other industries use either emotions or functionality, we can get some fresh ideas for our own industry.
Yeah, it's about broadening your horizons
Right.
and seeing how different appeals create value.
Okay,
Now, path 6, looking across time.
okay.
That's all about identifying trends that could impact your industry.
Trends. Okay.
And not just, like, fashion trends or tech trends,
Right.
but deeper societal shifts, economic changes, and even demographic trends.
So things that are more fundamental than just fads, like real shifts.
Exactly.
Okay,
You want to look for trends that are decisive, irreversible,
Yeah.
and have a clear trajectory.
okay.
Remember Group ESIV and the Actifry?
Yes.
They used this path to identify the growing trend of healthy eating.
Right.
People wanted healthier options, even when it came to something as indulgent as French fries.
It all ties together.
Right.
They saw the trend, they understood the need, they made a product that worked with the market.
Exactly. By connecting the dots between trends and buyer needs, they hit it out of the park.
This is incredible. We've gone from sharks to maps to French fries,
No, we're
all in the search for blue oceans.
okay.
I feel like we're starting to get a handle on this concept.
We're making good progress. But the real fun begins when we start talking about the practical tools for building these blue ocean offerings.
Okay, well, I'm ready when you are.
Awesome.
Okay, so we've laid a lot of groundwork here, understanding those blue oceans.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how do we actually take these, like, ideas and make them into something tangible, something we can build?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And that's where the book's Eliminate, Reduce, Raise, Create grid comes in.
The ERRC grid.
Or ERRC grid,
Okay.
exactly.
ERC grid.
So think of it as like a visual way to kind of break down your industry and really make some strategic decisions about your offerings.
Okay, I like it.
So the ERRC grid helps you figure out what to eliminate, what to reduce,
Good.
what to raise, and what to create.
So we're really looking at the industry from a fresh perspective
Exactly.
and challenging all those old assumptions
Yeah.
that can keep us stuck.
That we've always done it this way kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Stuck in the red ocean.
So the eliminate factor,
Okay.
it's about getting rid of those elements that your industry just takes for granted,
Right.
but that don't really add value for buyers anymore.
So features, services, whole processes even.
It's like decluttering your business model.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Declutter the business.
Get rid of the stuff that's just taking up space,
Right, exactly.
not contributing to the value.
Okay.
And then we move on to reduce.
Reduce.
Okay. So this is about looking at factors
Okay.
that might be like overblown or over-engineered or just excessive.
Right, like products with a million features.
Yeah. Yeah. That nobody uses.
Exactly. So
So-
by reducing those elements,
Yeah.
you can free up resources,
Right.
lower your costs,
Makes sense.
and often improve the user experience
Right.
without sacrificing any value.
Okay, so we've
Cool.
eliminated the unnecessary, we've reduced the excessive.
Right.
Now we're on to raise. What are we raising?
Okay, so raise is where you identify factors that your industry kind of underdelivers on.
Okay.
Things that customers really want more of.
Okay.
So this could be like quality, speed, convenience,
Right.
or even something entirely new and unexpected.
So going above and beyond for customers
Yeah,
in areas that matter to them.
you got it.
Okay.
And then finally we have create.
Create. Okay.
And this is where things get really exciting.
I bet.
This is about introducing brand new factors
Okay.
that your industry has never even considered.
Oh, wow.
This is where real innovation and differentiation happens.
This is where we get to break the mold.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the book really emphasizes that, like, successful blue ocean shifts, they often involve pursuing both differentiation and low cost.
Okay.
It's not one or the other.
Right.
It's finding that sweet spot.
So not just being the cheapest, not just being the fanciest. It's
Yeah.
that balance.
It's finding that balance.
Yeah, like the Actifry.
Exactly.
Offering healthy cooking, but at a good price.
Exactly. And the ERC grid helps you kind of achieve that.
Okay, so the ERC grid makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
But how do we actually choose the best blue ocean offering?
Right.
I imagine we could come up with a ton of ideas using this grid. How do we pick the winner?
So that's where the blue ocean fair comes in.
Blue ocean fair. Okay.
Yeah. So imagine like a science fair,
Okay.
but for business models.
All right. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this.
Okay. So your team would develop like different blue ocean options, each with its own like strategy canvas and ERC grid.
Okay.
And then you present these at the fair.
Okay.
Kind of like booths, right? Where attendees can come learn about each idea.
Okay.
So it's interactive, it's engaging.
So you're getting to see these different blue oceans
Yeah.
side by side.
Side by side.
That's a good idea.
And you get a feel for each one.
Right.
And you invite a really diverse group of people.
Okay.
You know, executives, managers,
Okay.
frontline employees, even customers.
Right. Get all the perspectives.
Yeah, the more brains, the better.
I like that.
And then each team presents their idea.
Okay.
They answer questions.
Right.
And then at the end, everyone votes on their favorite.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so it really helps build buy-in and excitement.
Yeah, everybody feels like they're part of the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the book gives this example of Kimberly Clark Brazil, or KCB,
Right.
who used this process to kind of shake up the toilet paper industry.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, they held this huge fair with like almost 100 people,
Wow.
including executives, managers, even board members.
Not something you usually think of as innovative toilet paper.
I know, right?
But I'm sure they found some hidden opportunities.
Oh, they did.
Okay, good.
They had like multiple options on display. But the one that really stole the show was their just one hug concept.
Just one hug. What is that?
So they realized that people were using way too much toilet paper
Okay.
because the rolls were so bulky.
Yeah,
They felt like they needed a huge handful to get the job done.
that's so true.
So their solution was this like more compact roll
Right.
design, so you really only needed one sheet.
That is brilliant.
I know.
It's so simple,
So simple.
but so innovative.
Yeah.
Saves money, reduces waste,
Yeah.
helps the environment.
It's a win-win-win.
a total win.
That's the beauty of a blue ocean shift.
Yeah.
It's about creating value for everyone involved.
Okay, so we've used our ERRC grid. We've brainstormed all these ideas. We've had our Blue Ocean Fair. We've picked the winner.
Right.
What's next? Do we just launch it and hope for the best?
Not quite.
Okay.
The book really stresses the importance of rapid market testing.
Okay, testing.
Yeah, before you go all in.
Makes sense. You don't want to put a bunch of resources into something that doesn't work.
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
have to gather real-world feedback
Right.
and make adjustments if you need to.
Okay.
So rapid market testing is all about getting a prototype out there
Right.
as quickly as possible
I-
and seeing how people react.
So out of the building, talking to real customers.
Yes, exactly. Validate those assumptions and gather insights.
Gotcha.
So KCB did this with their Just One Hug offering.
Okay.
They did hundreds of face-to-face interviews,
Wow.
showing people the prototype, getting their feedback.
And I bet people loved the idea of using less toilet paper.
They did.
Yeah.
And this feedback helped them refine the offering
Okay.
and really get a sense of how much demand there was.
That's smart.
Yeah.
So it's not just validating, it's learning and adapting along the way.
That's a key part of it.
Okay, so we found our blue ocean. We've tested it. It's a hit.
Right.
Now what? What's the final piece here?
So the final piece of the puzzle is making sure your business model actually supports your new offering.
Okay, the business model.
Yeah.
So it's not enough to have a great product.
Right. It's not enough.
Your whole organization has to be ready.
Exactly. You might need to make some significant changes internally
Okay.
to really deliver on the promises of your blue ocean.
This sounds like it could involve some tough decisions.
It can, about resource allocation,
Right.
maybe even restructuring certain parts of the business,
Okay.
but it's crucial for long-term success.
Yeah, for sure.
And the book talks about this idea of target costing.
Okay, target costing. Tell me about that.
So it's basically working backward from your desired price point to figure out your allowable costs.
So instead of adding up our costs and then adding a profit margin,
Right, exactly.
we're starting with what the customer is willing to pay
Exactly.
and figuring out how to make it work.
You got it. And this really forces you to be creative
Yeah.
and find ways to deliver value at a price that works for everyone.
Right, for the buyer and for you.
Exactly.
That makes sense. It encourages efficiency,
Yeah,
innovation
exactly.
throughout the whole company.
And the book highlights companies like Citizen M.
Citizen M. Okay.
Yeah, they're that affordable luxury hotel chain.
Oh, yeah. I've stayed at a Citizen M, but they're really nice.
They're beautiful,
Yeah.
super stylish,
Yeah.
minimalist design.
Very cool.
And they achieved those lower costs
Mm-hmm.
by partnering with other companies to handle things like food and beverage,
Okay. Smart.
so they could focus on delivering that really unique hotel experience.
Right. They outsourced everything but their core competency.
Exactly. So this freed up their resources to invest in that,
Right.
differentiated hotel experience.
Okay. So we've aligned our business model.
Yeah.
We're ready to launch.
Yeah.
But what about the people? How do we get everyone on board and excited about this whole shift? I imagine that could be a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. It's crucial to have your team with you.
Yeah.
You've got the strategy, you've got the structure,
Yeah.
but without motivated people,
Right.
it's not going to work.
It's hearts and minds.
Exactly.
As much as it is the plans.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And the book talks about two main risks related to people.
Okay.
So you have implementation risk with the market
Okay.
and demotivation risk with your team.
Okay. Let's break those down.
Right.
What do those mean?
So implementation risk is basically making sure that your offering actually works
Right.
in the real world.
Does it deliver on the promises?
Exactly.
right.
And then demotivation risk is about keeping your team engaged
Right.
and enthusiastic.
If people aren't feeling it, it's not going to work.
Exactly. They need to feel like they're part of something meaningful.
Right. Not just cogs in a machine.
Exactly. And motivating people goes beyond just money.
Right. For sure.
It's about creating a culture of shared purpose,
Okay.
giving people ownership,
Right.
empowering them to contribute.
I like that.
So it's about inspiring them to
Yes.
believe in the vision
Right.
and work together to make it happen.
And that's where strong leadership comes in.
Absolutely. Strong leadership is essential
Yeah.
for creating a culture
Right.
that supports this.
Absolutely.
When you have that, you have a powerful force for change.
This has been amazing, this whole journey. We've gone from identifying these blue oceans
Yeah.
to aligning our business models
Right.
to getting our people excited.
Motivating those teams.
But the book also talks about applying this on a larger scale, right? Like with governments and stuff.
Yes, it does.
Go-
It's not just for companies. It can
Okay.
be used by governments,
Okay.
nonprofits,
Okay.
even entire countries
Okay.
to tackle like really complex challenges.
So blue ocean thinking on a global level.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is really exciting.
Yeah.
And the book showcases this really inspiring example.
Okay.
The Malaysian government's National Blue Ocean Strategy, or NBOS initiative,
MBOS. Okay.
they were facing some pretty serious challenges.
Okay.
Poverty, crime, unemployment.
Wow.
They needed a fresh approach.
For sure.
So they turned to blue ocean thinking.
So they applied these business principles to running a country.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's been remarkable. They've launched over 100 blue ocean initiatives.
100 initiatives.
Yeah, tackling everything from education,
Wow.
healthcare, public safety,
So many things.
economic development, so many things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of like what one of those look like in action?
Oh, absolutely. One
Yeah.
of the best ones is the Community Rehabilitation Program, or CRP.
Okay, so
CRP, yeah. So they had this problem with overcrowded prisons
right.
and really high recidivism rates.
So the classic more prisons, more problems kind of situation.
Yeah, a classic red ocean.
Yeah.
So instead of just building more prisons,
Right.
they realized that a lot of military bases
Mm.
had this idle land
Okay.
with really strong security infrastructure already,
That's
perfect for housing low-risk offenders.
right. So they're repurposing existing resources
Exactly.
to solve a problem.
Exactly, thinking outside the box.
I love that.
And by separating, the petty criminals from the hardened criminals,
Right.
they were able to reduce crime, improve rehabilitation rates,
It's a win-win.
a total win for everybody.
It's amazing what can happen when you shift your perspective.
It really is.
You find these creative solutions.
And there's another great example,
Right?
the Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Center,
Okay.
or MAGIC.
Magic. All right.
It's basically this hub
Okay.
for entrepreneurs, investors, mentors,
Okay.
designed to support innovation.
So they're creating an ecosystem for startups.
Exactly.
To thrive.
Nurturing those seeds of future blue oceans.
I love that.
And they've supported thousands of new businesses.
Wow.
Created tons of jobs.
Amazing.
Attracted investments, boosted the economy.
Wow. So it's not just individuals, it's whole communities.
Exactly. It's showing how blue ocean thinking can really benefit everyone.
This NBOS initiative is incredible.
I know, it's really inspiring.
It really shows that these ideas aren't just theory.
Yeah,
They can make a real difference.
a tangible difference in the world.
It's amazing what's possible when you change how you think.
Absolutely. It all starts with challenging those assumptions,
Wow.
thinking outside the box,
Yeah.
and focusing on creating that new value.
I love that.
That's the essence of blue ocean thinking.
This has been an incredible journey, seriously.
I'm so glad.
I feel like I have a whole new understanding
That's great.
of what's possible
Yeah.
when you break free from that red ocean.
It's exciting stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone who's listening to this
Mm-hmm.
and they're thinking, okay, I'm ready. I want to do this. I want to find my blue ocean.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
It is exciting stuff, but I mean, you're right. It's not always going to be easy.
Right. Like it's not a magic wand. You wave and suddenly, boom, blue ocean.
Exactly. It's not a magic formula. And one of the biggest challenges, I think, is overcoming what the book calls red ocean traps.
Red ocean traps. Okay, what are those?
These are basically like mental models that keep us stuck in that competitive mindset.
Okay, I see. So we're kind of trapped in the red ocean even when we're trying to get out.
Exactly. We're still thinking in terms of like beating the competition.
Right. Instead of creating something new.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are some of these traps that we should be aware of?
Well, one really common one is thinking that market creating strategies are all about technology.
Right. So we focus on the wow factor of the new tech and forget to ask, does anybody actually need this?
Yeah, exactly. It's like that saying, a solution in search of a problem.
Right. And we end up with another Google Glass.
Exactly. Something impressive, but ultimately not really necessary.
Nobody really needed it.
Right. And another trap is thinking that market creation is always about disruption,
Okay.
that somebody has to lose for you to win.
Right, like a zero-sum game.
Yeah, but we've seen how blue oceans can be created through non-disruptive creation.
Right, where everybody benefits.
Like the National Youth Orchestra of Iraq, right?
Yeah.
They carved out this unique space without taking away from other orchestras.
Exactly, everybody wins.
Exactly. And then a third trap is that incremental mindset.
Incremental mindset, okay.
Where you think that market creation is just about making these small incremental improvements to existing offerings.
So just kind of tweaking things around the edges.
Yeah, and that keeps you stuck in the red ocean.
Right, just fighting over scraps.
Exactly, in this shrinking market.
So how do we avoid these traps? How do we really shift our thinking to that blue ocean perspective?
Well, it starts with awareness, I think.
Okay.
You know, recognizing those red ocean traps. Yeah.
And then actively challenging your own thinking.
Question those assumptions.
Question those assumptions, yeah.
Okay.
Seek out diverse perspectives.
Right, get out of our own bubble.
Exactly, and be willing to step outside your comfort zone.
It's like embracing that beginner's mindset.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Coming at it with curiosity.
Yeah.
And being ready to learn and adapt.
Exactly, and don't forget those core principles of blue ocean shift that we've been talking about.
Right, like focusing on value innovation.
Yeah.
Understanding those non-customers.
Yeah.
Aligning your business model.
It's a holistic approach.
It really is. It's not just one thing.
Right, it requires that shift in perspective.
Yeah.
And a real commitment to creating genuine value.
So it's a journey.
It is a journey.
You're a destination.
And there will be challenges.
Oh, for sure. There will be setbacks.
But the rewards of creating a blue ocean, they're so worth it.
Yeah.
You know, when you escape that red ocean and create your own blue ocean, you unlock all these possibilities. Right.
For yourself.
For your organization.
For the world around you. It's amazing.
Yeah, so if you could give just one piece of advice to someone who's listening to this and they're ready to take that step to go on their blue ocean journey, what would you say?
Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo.
I love that.
Don't be afraid to ask, what if?
Yeah.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to create something new.
Something valuable.
Something that really makes a difference.
That's inspiring advice.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
Right. We have the book, Blue Ocean Shift.
Yeah, it's packed with tools and frameworks to help you.
And there's a whole community out there.
A whole community of people who are excited about it.
That are ready to support you.
Exactly. We're all in this together.
I love that. So the future is full of blue oceans.
Just waiting to be discovered.
This deep dive has been amazing. I feel so energized and ready to set sail on my own blue ocean adventure.
That's fantastic to hear. Remember, the world needs your contributions.
Thank you.
So go out there and make some waves.
Until next time, happy exploring.